Hey guys, welcome back to one of the. Hey guys, welcome back. Hey guys, welcome back to the soon to be known as world famous Kadim's Talking Draw. This is the Hikage channel, not to be mistaken with the Kadim and Friends channel, which I should be posting on more, but let's not talk about that. Today we're going to be working on a comic book. Not just any comic book. It's a comic book that I'm lovingly calling Jungle Fever. My fiance said I should probably change the title because Jungle Fever means something different. But because I don't have a work, it's my working title. I don't have any other title. So what we're going to be doing is a drawing. We're going to go through this whole process because I decided to write a new story right after I released my other one on hikagetv.com. And I did a whole thing. And now we're going to be working through this one. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Click that like button if you haven't already. And let's get to work. Do 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 do. This is about to be some crazy joint. Okay. See, the difficult part is, it's not the drawing. It's not even the writing. The difficult part about this is actually doing the stuff, like making the video, opening up Photoshop. Mind you, I'm a graphic designer. For the entire 6 years I've been working at this school, I've taught web design, graphic design, all these different things I've taught. But for some reason, as soon as I think about doing like sitting in front of the camera these days, I get like the heebie-jeebies, you know. I used to do this all the time, not drawing this, but, you know, talking in front of the camera and acting like I was a interviewer. That was a funny part of life. I think I was like 20. I don't remember how old I was. It was a tabloid. I think you do 11 by 17. I could just put it in, but I was hoping there would be a whole thing, but you know. Fun fact, I've had this computer since I was like, what year did I come back from Disney? 2010? 2011 I got this computer. It was my like second year in college, and I was like, you know what, guys? It's time for me to step it up. Let's see, 17, 11 by 17. It's like, see, I'm a gremlin when it comes to my living space. My fiance would tell you, in my own room I am gross. In most places I am gross. But when I'm having a work area, I tend to not be as gross as possible. Only because there's already so much stuff happening in my brain. I don't, thank you. I don't want to introduce more mess, you know? So let's get to this. This is the fun part. Because I'm working through a whole story, this is when we start sketching like random things, and you know, this is the non-fun part for anybody that has to watch this, because I mean, besides me talking for a whole hour, sometimes I go really quiet when I'm drawing. 'Cause I'm trying to figure things out. So the artist's mantra is the blank page, which is this, is the scariest thing. You know, they always tell you it's gonna be the scariest thing when starting. So what you should do is just start. So the way I'm gonna start, right? I'm not gonna do it like how I would do a regular page, or should I? Yeah, let's do that. Let's freestyle. So when I was a kid, me and my best friend Sean, we used to just draw, right? So I'm gonna start with the establishing shot because I can do that. What I would do really in reality is do a thumbnail. Like I just do a thumbnail drawing, but because I'm on this, I kind of just want to freestyle it. Establishing shot. So it takes place in this crazy island, right? On Earth. The character that we're following, he's actually from a different world altogether. But this is a different world than ours still. It's still like we have monsters, okay? That's basically what I'm trying to say. We got monsters, we got different things. These are palm trees. I always say, like, whenever I'm doing the first drawing, it has to come out really ugly because I need to just place where I'm going, you know? I need to know how things are going to look. You know, my clouds are always stylized the same way, you know. One of my mentors said, I have a style. And I was like, I have a style? You know, apparently I have a style. So, it starts out, we're going to do a little thing where we're like, oh, we're on an island. Yes, we're on an island. So, let's see where we're at. Okay, so starts off on the island. Let's clip back to space. You know, everything is just like a crazy drawing, whereas like just to set the scene, just to get it, you know. I was reading one of the making comics the Stan Lee way or the Marvel way, you know. I was like, okay, this is pretty interesting. He was just like, I don't know what should go here. This is why I usually do thumbnails, because I can kind of mark out what I want. But I'm trying to like loosen my brain up. Is that a weird thing? When I was a kid, my best friend and I, we used to draw on paper towels in church. Because at some point they decided that I was no longer allowed to I was no longer allowed to bring my black and white sketchbook because I wasn't actively participating. I'm not gonna say that I've always liked church, but I didn't hate church. It was just long. And I find anything difficult. As an artist, you always find things to fight against. And for me, anytime someone told me to do something, my base instinct is to say no. You know, even if it's to my own good, it's just no. I'm supposed to be a free spirit. That's what's crazy. So everything that people usually ask me, I kind of respond with the, nah, man. And, you know, people know me to be really compliant, where I'm like, okay, fine. So when I say no, everybody's just like, oh, what? How rude. Very rude. And I'm just like, yeah. So at this part, he thumps down. Poof. You know, some impact marks. You know, and I draw it like this because you just need to, you know, I should probably establish that as night, you know. You know how I establish that as night? I'm so corny. The moonlight. And I do this to basically establish where the light's going to hit, so when I'm actually at the shade, or, you know, do some inking, digital inking, I can kind of tell where stuff is supposed to be. Excuse me. See, this is when I just get crazy. And the next one I'm probably going to be more tame, but I kind of just want to test it out. You know, no detail yet. Just a whole bunch of... Look at how long his arms are. I like to make things racial. I like to make a lot of black characters. Because here's the thing, right? I don't know if you guys like... well, for me, any character that wasn't just a regular white dude, I love them. Like, I mean, I love Superman, love Batman, love Flash, but they were white for a very long time. You know, when Jon Stewart showed up, I was like, oh shoot, we out here? Static Shock? We out here? Like, I was just so excited. And people were like, why it has to be about race? It's really because we didn't have all these superheroes back in the day. You know? Like, now it's all about the girl power, women coming up, whole bunch of superheroes that are women. And it's like, you know, for me, I love Riri Williams. People hate her. Like, they hate her, but you gotta understand, I love Iron Man, right? I love Iron Man, that's one. And then number two, she was an Iron Man that learned to be Iron Man by stealing Iron Man's stuff that he would drop and not look back for. Because, what was it, Collateral Cleanup or something like that? That group, they didn't clean, they would miss certain things. Same way in that Spider-Man movie, they would take the little bit of weapons and, you know, repurpose them. Riri had the same idea. So I was just like, oh shoot, that's pretty cool. She's smart. She takes the weapons that nobody's looking for because, you know, Iron Man just dropped crap all the time. And she would just repurpose them. You know, she'd repurpose the weapons and made her own suit. When her suit first showed up, it was a scrap heap. Like, it was just a big old gray suit. Looked like War Machine had an issue. Like, she showed up during Civil War. That's when I remember seeing her for the first time in a comic. And I was like, oh, shoot, that's fly. Like, you know, having a black female character in a comic book was a big deal for me. I know Storm existed. I know Black Panther existed. But during all new, all different Marvel, I freaking loved it. People hated it. And I loved it. I was like, oh shoot, Riri Williams. Oh shoot, Kamala Khan. Oh shoot, Miles Morales. Oh shoot, Amadeus Cho. Because it was different characters that made you feel like, oh, this is the real world. It's not just white man Superman. That's it. Oh, we're going to have that one black Superman. Well, he has to be in a robot. And we have to make him gray. And bald. Because he's black. I'm bald, and I was like, yeah, Steel was awesome, mind you. Steel is freaking awesome. I'm not going to lie about that. However, dude was in a robot, okay? So this scene in the comic, I'm doing another establishing shot because it's my comic and I could do it like that. I could do it like that, do some smoky stuff, you know. I know a lot of artists will be like, you need to do your lines. The line is like, you need to have let's get some nappy here and here. Like, I joke with my fiance sometimes. I'm like, yeah, you know kinky hair. She's like, you mean nappy hair? Like, nah, you know kinky hair. So I'm drawing all these different things in the background because it's gonna reveal something, but it's a shadow. It's like a, you know, a hint at something's out there, but you don't see them. You know, like how when is it Sleeping Beauty? Snow White. When Snow White first goes into the forest and she's freaking out, she sees all those shadowy figures. It doesn't turn out to be what she thinks it is. You know, this is also not going to turn out to be what he thinks it is. It's going to be a little different. Let's draw a tree right here just because Let's make a crater. You know, you just kind of crash into the ground. I'm not going to lie to you. Let me tell you the truth. I don't know how to draw dirt or rocks, but I do try, and it comes out looking crazy. But people get it. I think sometimes I will get I will get some references and try it out, and it comes out okay. You know, I did a couple. You know, I put them on my website. You can see them if you want to look. A couple of references, a couple of drawings. I do a bunch of sketches just to see where I'm at sometimes. Like this morning, I was just drawing a whole bunch of women because I never draw women. But anyway, back to the topic. All new, all different Marvel changed for me. Like, I think at that point, I had resigned into just being, going to be a teacher. And I was like, I don't want to draw anymore. And then I saw freaking Jane Foster's Mighty Thor. Bro, I lost my mind. The colors, but Jason Aaron, yo, the colors? The freaking colors. I was like, damn. Like, you ever see something so beautiful it makes you mad? Like, I always joke about, like, you know, you ever see a baby so cute you want to throw it? Doesn't make sense, but it bugs you out in your mind. You'd be like, yo, like, it's people just want to eat babies. I'm like, why you want to eat a baby? They're like, it's so cute you want to chew on the cheek. And I'm just like, me, I'm more like, I just want to throw the baby up into the air like, woo! Where'd you go? You know. So, in this scene right here, like, I just gotta explain, I saw all these characters coming up. At the same time, Black Panther just came out, and everybody was wilding out because Black Panther just changed everything for most people because people hadn't seen themselves on screen for a very long time. So, when they saw, you know, black people on the screen looking amazing, having amazing costumes, you know, running their role, not being like just ghetto whatever, you know, not being criminals. That's literally what it was. It was a world in which colored people were not just being criminals all the time. They were not just here to be comedic relief, because all the movies that we've been in for a very long time, all we ever were was comedic relief, because black people are entertaining. So, I mean, white people are entertaining too, but black people, we have a different type of entertainment because of the struggle. So, I was just like, Black Panther is awesome. All these things are awesome. I feel like drawing. I can't even tell you what my first drawing after that was. I remember, like, coming back into drawing again and being like, damn, I'm trash again. And then, I forgot what it was. I started listening to, it's Jake Parker and Will Terry. I was listening to, their podcast while jogging. The funny thing about me and exercise is that I go on and off. So I was jogging while listening to the podcast, which is a hard thing because podcasts are really slow and boring half the time. So when you're out here listening to a podcast and running, whatever. Anyway, I'm long-winded. Let's do the hit. It's like smack. Let's erase this. And they were like, they gave the rules of what you need to do. You know, they were like, if you want to get back into drawing or you want to learn, you need to do these steps. And while I was running, I was taking notes. I was like, these are the steps I need to follow to get back into it. And one of the steps was you have to study these people you love. Sarah Pacelli, I met her years ago at Comic-Con. And the crazy thing was, there was no crazy long line. At the time that I met her, she didn't speak much English. But I was just like, I freaking love your work. How do you do this? Da 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 da. I'm asking her all these questions. She's looking at me like, what are you talking about? I just draw it. And that's always what the artists tell you. Like, I remember I went to a Mike Magnolia. Magnolia? The guy that did Daredevil. Not Daredevil. Damn it. Hellboy. I don't have a good history with Hellboy only because when I looked at it, it was on the movies. So I just never messed with it. But he was either the writer or the artist that was working on Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, and I loved it. And even when I asked him, I said, yo, how the heck do you do this? Like, how can I get back into it? And my fiance was the one that was pushing me to get these artists to sign my comics. You know, God bless her, because she was just like, Kadeem, you want to talk to them? You want to see what's up? All right, we're going to do this today. Like, she did like a mission. She was like, we're going to go see this person, this person, this person. These people are on your list. You're going to go talk to each one and ask them the questions you got to ask. So, I ask, like, any advice? He didn't speak that much English either. He probably did, but he was like really annoyed. I think maybe, and to my detriment, I've heard from like the Bancroft brothers not to ask these kind of questions to people. That's, you know, because some people, they come there to like make moolah, you know, and you over here just asking basic questions. Because I had basic questions, to be honest with you. I didn't have like complex questions, you know. I didn't, you know, back then I didn't have money to spend on thing. At that point I probably did, because my fiance was there and I was like stunting. But he would just looked at me like, just draw. Everybody's answer is always just draw. So I went back at it. Isn't that a weird thing? You just get back at it. Like, so for me now, I've been on this whole, see, it's still called Jungle. I've been on this whole, not really a journey. Is it a journey? This whole mission to recapture the joy of drawing and not thinking of it as a job. Because I have a job and then I freelance and I'm just like, look, what you need to do is enjoy this part. You know. Guys, if you get into this, organize your files as much as possible. So let's do it this way. Let's do a funny reveal. Like, no, that's not funny. Let's change the facial expression. Let's keep the pose. Let's zoom in with it. It's like, oh. So it was like I had a year of being blown away by all these comics. And I just couldn't take it anymore. I was like, I need to rejoin the world. So I began drawing a lot. And then at some point, my brain just said, "Hey, you're holding back," and I was like, "I'm holding back from what?" My brain was like, "You got so much stuff you want to draw, but you're not drawing it." And it was one of those where it was like, "Hey, if you die today and you ain't get to draw these things, how upset would you be?" People are like, "What? If you're dead, you're dead." No, no, no. You gotta understand the question. Because I believe in the afterlife. I believe that you go somewhere. People are like, "No, the world's just no. That's it." I'm kind of like, if I died and I didn't draw everything I wanted to draw, I'd come back to be upset. I'd be like, "Damn it, man! You messed up. You messed up, man. You're supposed to draw everything." So, like, do you understand how long this talk and draw took me to do? Like, 23 minutes have already passed, and we're on the second page. I like this joint. I don't know, something about it. Um, like, I've been nervous about coming back on YouTube. I had a show called Kadeem and Friends. Like, it was a show where I sat down with my peoples and talked. But it was one of those things. Like, my friends really wanted to come back, right? And sometimes you feel the obligation to do these things. Like, oh, I should do that because, everybody's saying they love that show back in the time. And then I also, right now, the way I'm growing is everything needs to be centered towards my art. You know, when I started realizing that animated thoughts was taking so long to do, it was this little show that I was doing based on something in the past or something I thought about, something I wanted to rant about, and then I realized, oh, in reality, in reality, it was really taking a freaking long time to do. So for some reason, I'm deciding to draw this draw this bug with a hard shell, throwing this human being. I don't know how it works because I don't think bugs can bend that way. But I draw like a cartoon from the James Avery world. I like to have my bugs do really weird things, like, so I'm just gonna have them do it. So let me tell you. So this comic is all about man versus nature. I freaking love that. You know, like, nothing right now has to be pretty. Not until the next time I do it where I start shaping it up. But this is mostly about just like drawing enough to drawing enough oof to make pages that I can actually create. Look, I completed one comic. Oof, oof. I think my students spell it with two O's. Oof. Um, isn't it crazy? It's a big page, and I'm still having trouble finding ways to 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 use my page. It's called layout. This is why you do thumbnails first, because it's just kind of like guesswork. Oh shoot. Oh sugar. Oh man. So, I had to stop the camera because it's the second time I'm gonna be stopping the camera because I have an alarm that tells me I have to do my next thing for Kadeem and Friends. Dang. Man. Just sweat. This whole comic is about man versus nature. You know. So that's what the third page. That's where I'm gonna stop today. I'm gonna start doing my other videos. So let me just say thank you so much for watching. I know you have plenty of options during this quarantine time if you are watching anyway. If you watch this in the future and quarantine's done, woo, we made it. Hopefully. Yeah, we're gonna be alright. Um, keep drawing. Keep being inspired. Keep creating, even when it seems very difficult and annoying. The best thing that anyone has ever told me, the best thing that anyone has ever said to me was drawing is supposed to be fun. Go and have fun. Subscribe, please. And thank you for the view.